Hey everybody, welcome to Bible class. Would you join me with an open Bible in 2 Kings chapter 17? We are talking about the divided kingdom, and we need to talk this evening about the end of the northern kingdom of Israel. For about 200 years from Jeroboam all the way to this man named Hoshea, the kingdom of Israel was ruled by kings who didn't lead the people of God in the way that they ought to go. In fact, 2 Kings chapter 17 and verse 6 gives us this sad summary. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria captured Samaria, that capital of the northern kingdom of Israel. He carried the Israelites away to Assyria. Now, as a class, you might go all the way back to what God had said in Deuteronomy chapter 28 before they even went into the promised land. God had warned them, if you don't listen to me, if you don't obey me, if you don't keep your hearts from idols, if you turn your back on the covenant, then I'm not going to allow you to stay in this land. In fact, if you say right there in 2 Kings chapter 17, we've got a summary. Why were the children of Israel allowed to be carried away by the Assyrians into a foreign land, carried away into exile? Well, you can see it right here. 2 Kings chapter 17 and verse 7. They sinned against the Lord their God. They lived like the nations whom the Lord had driven out of that land. They worshiped and served idols. They even offered their own children in sacrifices to idols. Ultimately, they wouldn't listen to the warning of God's prophets, his messengers. And so what did God do? Well, he did exactly what he had warned them he would do. Look at verse 18. The Lord was very angry with Israel. He removed them out of his sight. Verse 23, just like he had spoken by all his servants, the prophets. So Israel was exiled from their own land to Assyria until this day. Now, meanwhile, while there is such trouble in the northern kingdom of Israel, the southern kingdom of Judah came to be ruled by this young man named Hezekiah. And you might have to turn a page. Look with me at 2 Kings 18. Notice the difference in how Hezekiah is described compared to so many of those kings in the northern kingdom of Israel. Chapter 18, verse 3. Hezekiah did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, according to all that David, his father, we would say his forefather, had done. Hezekiah removed the high places, he broke the pillars, he cut down the Asherah, he got rid of all of these idols. He broke in pieces. Do you remember that bronze serpent that Moses had made all the way back in the days when they were wandering in the wilderness? Things have gotten so bad that the people were looking at that as an idol. Hezekiah trusted in the Lord, the God of Israel, so that there was none like him among all the kings of Judah after him, nor among those who were before him. There's something special about this man. He held fast to the Lord. He didn't depart from following him, but kept the commandments that the Lord commanded Moses. And yet, this was a scary time in Judah. We've talked about the Assyrians, how they had come down and completely conquered that northern kingdom of Israel. Now, the Assyrians have their sights set on Judah. So what did Hezekiah do when he's faced with incredible odds and he doesn't know what to do? Do you remember how a couple of weeks ago we talked about Jehoshaphat? Like King Jehoshaphat before him, Hezekiah prayed. He prayed before the Lord. Notice his prayer in 2 Kings 19, verse 15. O Lord, the God of Israel, enthroned above the cherubim, you are the God, you alone. Of all the kingdoms of the earth, you have made heaven and earth. Here's his prayer. Incline your ear, O Lord, and hear. Open your eyes, O Lord, and see. And hear the words of Sennacherib, this Assyrian, which he has sent to mock the living God. Truly, O Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste the nations and their lands, and have cast their gods into the fire. They weren't gods, these idols, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore they were destroyed. So now, O Lord, our God, save us. You can read all about the threat of this army, the taunts, the threats against Jerusalem, how Jerusalem was just going to be leveled like everything else. Hezekiah doesn't know what to do, so he prays. Save us, O Lord our God, please, from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you, O Lord, are God alone. And what happened that very night? Verse 35 of 2 Kings 19 tells us, the angel of the Lord went out and struck down 185,000 in the camp of the Assyrians. 2 Kings chapter 20 goes on to describe how Hezekiah eventually got very sick to the point of death. Isaiah the prophet even comes and tells him, it's time for you to get your house in order. You're going to die. You're not going to get better. I'll let you as a class dig in a little bit more to 2 Kings chapter 20. What does Hezekiah do? We're noticing this big contrast between the kings of Israel and a man like Hezekiah in Judah. I think you and I are intended to learn something from that contrast. What do we hear? What do we see? What ought we to notice about Hezekiah? What can you and I learn today when it comes to following God with our hearts, our souls, our minds as well? Thanks so much for being in class. Hope I've set you up for good discussion, that you have a great rest of your class and a great rest of this week.